Thank you, everyone's joining the session. Whatever you are seeing this live or recorded, thank you very much. For me, it's a pleasure to present you today, very briefly, our work with Orca in the model-driven engineering network. Well, Orca is a graphical DSL we just built at MDENet. And let's go directly to show what's going on with it. Okay, my name is Pedro Molina. I already been here before, just leading MDENet, working with OpenAPI, and building model-driven engineering tools. We also take part of the local mode approach for the European Commission, also to train model-driven engineers in Europe. So today with Orca, we have a problem we want to solve, and we will explain what we're going to solve with Orca. The first thing is the problem statement is basically we are seeing that container orchestration has an entry barrier for non-technical users. They encounter problems when dealing and solving this kind of problem with defining a specification to orchestrate containers. So basically, lack of technical knowledge or complexity of the domain, or maybe also unfamiliar with YAML documents, a lot of configuration you need to write using these kind of tools for the technology we currently have, right? So this is this kind of YAML files, right? This could be daunting for users not get used to deal with editing this kind of files and why all these things mean, right? So basically, containers are being used basically by developers, and worldwide it's estimated that we have 27 million of developers. But we also have citizen developers. Citizen developers needs to use software, and sometimes they wanted to create it from scratch. And if you can make it easy for them, you will get a lot of users that can also benefit from this kind of tools. And reducing accidental complexity for them to use it. So we are targeting this kind of users to help them to create containers and orchestration of containers. So basically, that's the main goal that we are trying to cover, lowering the entry barrier for this kind of users. So focusing to make it as simple as possible with a no-code environment, looking for this kind of citizen developers, right? How to do it? Okay, we are providing a graphical DSL on the web to be able to do container orchestration, providing a palette with containers, using drag and drop, and hiding all the complexity and making to provide an environment that is quite easy to use for users. At the end of the day, they will be generating Docker files or Kubernetes configuration files, and later on, as in the roadmap, also if you can press a button and then deploy finally in the final environment. Okay, so the value proposition here is, okay, we want to build this graphical editor for simplifying orchestration with Docker, and to explore graphical editors, as commented before, as a no-code environment, right? Also, we are integrating this with artificial intelligence tools to be able to do a contextual content generation. Okay, I think this is more than enough. Let's go to see the demo, right? And let me show you this running. Okay. Well, this is the landing page for the product. This is available on the web. You can go for this URL and look for it. We can check it later. And basically, if we enter into the product, we will check it out live. Let's do the demo live. Okay, sorry. This is not working. Okay, this is the product. So basically, we have a canvas with a palette of components. So we can start defining. Probably we will have an entry point. We will have a container. We will connect to the container, and probably we will use the port 80. And probably this container will have an image to use nginx or something like that, right? So the idea is that we can build our containers one by one and defining the connectivity between them, if they use volumes or networks or config, and then you can connect and configure as needed. Okay. At the end of the day, you can export this to okay. Let me log. in the tool. I can export the service, and you will get a Docker Compose file. Okay, but let's to build something you want to build something more complete. You can import your own Docker Compose file into this tool, or you can use the artificial intelligence part. For example, I want to build a WordPress blog with MySQL. Okay, so basically you can use voice if you want, or just type it and then send it to ChatGPT in this case, just artificial intelligence backend, and we will provide us a generative example of containers for this kind of things. As you can see, this is providing a database with MySQL as requested. This is WordPress with standard configuration. So if you export it, you get something from scratch you can start working with. Okay, you already have some initial configuration. You can, of course, continue tweaking, adding more things if needed. And also, we plan to add validation on top of the diagram. For example, if you remove to indicate the image, okay, this is an error. Okay, so here at the bottom, you will get some error. You will need to provide of course, an image or some commands to build, right? So you can validate the model, be able to create a model and check that the full configuration is fine. We can import or export to different scenarios. In this case, we can import from Docker Compose, and at the end you can put a name for this blog, right? And then save it, and you will get a collection of projects you are saving with your. I have a lot of them here, right? The blog is the one we are working right now. So basically, we are providing the building blocks in the palette. We have another one about templates. Next, for example, I want to use some databases. So here you have pre-configured some databases for you to use, ready to use, or maybe queues or continuous integrations like Team City, things like that. So you can start creating from examples. And moreover, I think that this year, with integration of artificial intelligence tool, this is something we can bring to modeling technology that is quite helpful to help the user to start creating with examples that the artificial intelligence will help us in these areas. Okay, this tool is specifically useful for creating orchestration of containers, as you can see. We can also import with this capability an existing configuration and show the relationship between different containers. The idea is also to explore the security of these configurations. And moreover, we can use this technology later on to show you the containers in runtime, okay? Just to have observability and to check that everything is working as expected. Also, MetaDev, the company, we are investing in this technology to have a graphical tool for modeling on the web. So this example with containers is just one of the very first application we have used, right, for containers orchestration. But we plan to use this technology for all domains: domotics, games, backend as a services, workflows. There are a lot of domains where we can apply modeling, right, in a no-code environment or low-code environment, do it on the web without needing to install nothing locally, and then users can share their models between them and just communicate the ideas that behind it. Okay, this is it. Basically, this is the tool. It's totally free. It's in beta. It's free on this URL, orcatool.com. So I encourage you to test it and play a little with it. And if you want, you have any ideas or any feedback, we have a button specifically for this. You can write to us, and we will be more than helpful to receive your feedback and to know how other practitioners in the model-driven engineering community feel your feelings about these kind of tools. Thank you very much.